HarperCollins and Harper Audio present Kihiani, a Memoir of Healing by Susan Aglukark and Andrea Warner. Performed by Susan Aglukark. To my mom and dad, and to their generation of Inuit from all across Inuit Nunangat, Inuit land. Introduction. In late summer, early fall of 1989, I left the north and moved south. It was an escape and a chance to start over. I needed both, and my new job in Ottawa, typing and translating documents, at the Inuit Division of the Department of Indian Affairs and Northern Development, was a godsend. I was 22 years old, and I was completely and totally alone, but being away made me feel like I could breathe. At least I was free. Part of my job was to go into high schools and talk to students about what life was like in the North. After the first month, I asked my boss if I could share a poem I had written when I was in high school. I, my siblings, and all of the kids in Arviat and the Kihiani region had to leave home in order to graduate from high school. Our only option for grades 10 through 12 was to fly over 1,000 kilometers away to Iqaluit or Yellowknife. We had no choice if we wanted to get a high school diploma, and we were told again and again that graduating was essential to our having any hopes for the future. After a bad experience in Iqaluit when I was 15, I dropped out, and when I did go back to school, it was over a year later, and this time in Yellowknife. While there, I wrote a piece in my diary called Searching, about having to leave home and go into residence, and not only how hard and painful it was to have to do that, but also how unfair. My boss, David, liked the poem and saw potential for it to be something more. He asked if maybe it could become a song, and before I knew it, I was working with a producer and musicians. Searching became an incredible piece of jazz music and a song, and shortly thereafter, a music video. I had no idea we were making a music video. Nobody called it that. I thought it was more of a short documentary, and I went along with it because it was work. It was always part of my job, a very cool part mostly, but I wasn't thinking that what we were making might have a bigger life beyond my job or the classroom. I don't remember much about recording Searching in the studio. I don't think I had any advanced recording for me to practice to. That came later. But I do remember a striking moment when we started filming in the studio. The flautist, named Dario Dominguez, wasn't the conventional flute player. He was from another indigenous country, and I loved that. Finally, I wasn't alone as a different person. Typically, I was in a room full of white men. The producer, the videographer, everybody involved up to that point had been white men. It wasn't that they made me feel I didn't belong. I was just always aware that I wasn't white and was therefore different and therefore maybe less. But with this person playing the flute from his country, suddenly I wasn't the only different person in this project. And I loved his sound in the song. It felt closer to me, more authentically me. We spent 4 days filming outdoors in Ottawa in February in the freezing cold. In Ottawa, it was all a matter of following directions. We need you here at these times. I wasn't thinking, I'm going to have a music video. It truly never hit me that way. You want me there? That's where I'll be. I was afraid to ask any questions or to ask for clarification, because asking is challenging and I'm not allowed to challenge. This for me was and is part of the effects of colonization in my generation. Afraid to ask, so I'm just going to do what I'm told, conditioned to never.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?